Hey guys, welcome back to Monter's Market. I am going to be doing a 6-foot porch sign and 3 of the cutest little ladders you've ever seen. Now I had to get some help from my honey with the little ladders because I was using a drill after a long day of sanding and painting and things like that. And I recently had surgery on my finger, so I had to get his help because it was pretty sore and it's really starting to hurt. So I went to Home Depot and got a piece of board, and the guy ended up cutting it for me, and out of that one piece of board I was able to get 2 6-foot signs and 1 4-foot sign. I bought 2 of those, so I ended up with several different porch signs. Now go to the Oops paint, because if you look at this beautiful moss green paint for $2.50, the regular price was $16.99. So I ended up getting 3 paints for what, $5, and the $16.48 is what I spent on the wood and the paint. Like, that was such an amazing deal. I was really, really proud of that. So the first thing I did was sanded down my board and just gave it a really light whitewashing. Now I took the Waverly white chalk paint. I always get tongue-tied when I try to say that. And mixed it with a little bit of water to add to this wood because I didn't want it to overtake the wood and completely cover it up. Then I cut a stencil out that says home, but I left the O out because you'll see what I did with the O. I made it with some greenery. And I went back in with the Waverly Truffle acrylic paint, and I just filled in all of the stenciling area. And at the top it says welcome to our, and then H, a blank space, M, and E. And you'll see in just a few minutes where I took some greenery and went in and made the O and put a cute little bow on it. But here you see me just really taking my time, not getting in any hurry, putting a little bit of paint on this Dauber paintbrush thingy majigger bob that I got from the Dollar Tree. It comes in at like a pack of 3. Now once I got that done and it dried the next morning, I went out and took my stencil off, and it was perfect. I didn't have any bleeds or anything, and I was really, really, really holding my breath because I cut my stencil pretty close and didn't give myself a whole lot of room for error whenever I was doing the paint job. So once I got all of that stencil removed off of it, this is what it looked like. And I was really, really proud of the way it turned out. That's my blank spot there for my O. And this is it. And see how you see the wood kind of popping through that paint? I thought it turned out exactly like I wanted it to. How cute is that? I love it. I love how it turned out. So then I got a couple of different greeneries that I had and kind of put it up to it, like, which one do I want? The little one, the big one, the big one, the little one. That I got on sale for $2. And I think it was normally like $14.99 or $9.99. I don't remember how much it was, but I had a huge savings. And I finally got smart and started doing the bows with the zip ties like Sammy from Unicorn Dust Designs does. I was using so much glue that it was ridiculous trying to get my bows attached to my wood boards because of the way I was making my bows. This way is so much easier. It is so much cleaner, and it is a game changer when you're making bows. So basically what you want to do is just fold over your ribbon 2 or 3 times. It depends on you, however big you want your bow. And then you take your zip tie and you put it right in the middle of your ribbon. So I folded in half and, kind of found out where my middle was, but I kind of had already had mine creased from before. What you're seeing here is my second try where I went back and refolded it, so there was still a crease in there. So look at that, how pretty that is. But I forgot to put my little tails, and I thought I could just pull it back open and add the tails back in there, and that was a no-go. I had to end up cutting it off and using another zip tie to get the tail in there. So this is me going back and cutting my tail for my little bow. And then I'll go in just a second and cut that tongue-tied again, zip tie off, and use another one. So this is me like, can I squeeze it in there? Let me see if I can just pinch it in there and squeeze it and pull it out. And I tried. I took my scissors and tried to push it through there, and that sucker was so tight, it was not going to give. It just wasn't going to happen. And I didn't want to end up ripping my burlap, so I finally gave up and just cut it off and started over, which wasn't a big deal. You can get a whole pack of like 20 or 25 of those zip ties for $1 or $2 at the dollar store. The Dollar General. You can actually get some at the Dollar Tree, but they were out of them at my Dollar Tree. So I finally give up, cut that zip tie off, and add my little tail and just start over. Then I went in and made another little finger bow that the beautiful Sammy from Unicorn Dust Designs showed me how to do, or shows all of us how to do. If you go over, subscribe to her channel and watch, you will see how she does these adorable little bows on different things. And added that to the top of my burlap bow, just to add a little bit more character and give it something on top of it that made it a little bit cuter than it already was, and to hide that zip tie. That was like my main goal. And then once I had that done, I glued it to the top of my O that I made with my little greenery that I got from Walmart, and it was on sale. It was on clearance for like $1, I don't know, $1.49 or something like that. And it was actually normally right at $7 or $8. So I got a pretty good deal on that too. But once I got it on there and got it all glued on, I was kind of scared that it would come off. So after I held it in place for a little while, I grabbed my brad nailer and just put a brad nail in there. And if you don't know what a brad nail is, it's a nail without a head that you can shoot out of a gun. It's kind of like a staple, but it looks like a nail, if that makes any sense. But that's a new toy I just bought myself, and I love that thing. You'll see me use it a lot now that I've got it. This is the first thing I used it on, and I absolutely love it. It made life so much easier. But I got it all in place, should I say. And this was the final outcome. And I love the way it turned out. Now, what I don't have is video of me going back under this E right here. See that empty space? And I added just a strip of burlap. Oh, you know what? I'm showing you before I put the other bow on there. Yeah. So this is the video of where I did the finger bow first and thought it needed more, and I went back in and added the burlap bow. Now see the bottom, how it's kind of got that empty spot? All I did is took a piece of burlap and wrapped it around the middle between that E and the bottom, and then I took another piece of that greenery and put it around the middle of that burlap, and then added another little finger bow, and you'll see that in just a minute. And you probably just got a little glimpse of my little ladders that I'm going to be showing you next. Now, I am super proud of those ladders, but we'll talk about them in just a minute. But look how pretty that turned out. I was so proud of it. Just a close-up of the cute little bow. Blah, blah, blah. Blooper number 3. I have stopped going back and re-recording because if I did that every time I made a blooper, I would literally never get finished with these videos. So when my tongue gets tied, I just keep rolling. Just keep rolling. Look how cute that is. Isn't that cute? I got that roll of burlap from Walmart, and it was on clearance, and it was super duper cheap. And here are my cutie little ladders, and I love them. They were the easiest thing I have ever made in my life. So you see those boards right there that are the left and right pieces of the ladder that holds the rungs? They were $1.97 a piece at Home Depot. The dowel rod was like $1.27. So we measured that dowel rod and cut it into 3 equal pieces. It was 3 foot long, so we got 1 foot rungs out of it. 3 1-foot rungs. So this is where my husband came in and helped me because I'm telling you, my thumb was so sore at this point, I just couldn't hardly use it anymore. So he was super sweet. Just got home from work. As you can see, he's still in his work clothes, bless his heart. And he saw me kind of favoring my hand, and he said, "Here, baby, let me help you with that." And I was glad to let him help me with that. He's the best. So here's us kind of just measuring it out to see what it would look like. And then Mr. Perfectionist here has to measure everything to make sure it's perfectly aligned and in the right spots. And then all he does is just takes the drill and goes in and make these starter holes, or I know there's a proper word for it and that's not the proper word, but he went back where he measured it and just put these drill holes in there so that when we went back in and added the screws, it was so much easier because we had these little pilot holes or whatever they're called pre-drilled out. So this is him just making those little pilot holes. That's what I'm going to call them, pilot holes. If that's not the right term, somebody leave me in the comments what the right term for that is. But so we did this, and that's the dowel rod. He went in and put starter holes on the end of the dowel rods. And then once he got all of those starter holes in place, it was so easy to just go back in and add the screws. And then they were done. They were ready to be painted. Now, I did not sand these ladders because I wanted them super rusticy. Is that a word, rusticy? But I want them very rustic. And then this is where he's starting the screws ahead of time, which that made it easier. And watch how easy this was, guys. When I tell you this was the easiest thing we've ever made, look at that. Bam. So easy. And sturdy. Oh my goodness. These things are super heavy, super sturdy, and they are not going anywhere. He used some really long, nice screws, and they are not going anywhere. So whoever gets these are going to have a very, very nice, high quality little ladder. It's going to last them a long, long time. This is me helping him. He looked at me like, "Do you have me in the camera?" Yeah, it's kind of hard not to video you without you being in the camera. I was like, "Baby, I just got off work. I'm filthy." It just shows what a good, hard-working man he is. I know I brag about him every time I talk about him, but I'm telling y'all, I just can't get enough of him. We've been married almost 30 years, and it's just been beautiful. He still gives me butterflies, and it is still so brand new. I get tickled to death when it's time for him to walk in the door from work every day, and You know, I got to go in there and brush my hair and put my little makeup on and just touch up. Well, he caught me this day. But look at that. Look how cute they turned out. Aren't they adorable? And I'm telling you, like I said, they are super, super sturdy. I mean, very, very sturdy. Very, very good quality. So we got them done that night. It was already dark, as you see. So I came out the next morning and I spray painted one red, one sort of a brownish color, and then the third one I used that really pretty moss green paint that I got on sale for $2.50, and all I did was used what was on the lid when I shook it up and painted that whole stinking ladder. I still have that whole can left. And like I said, it was a $17 can of paint that I got for $2.50. So I'll be using that on quite a bit of different projects. But that's my red one. This is the brown. I was showing you the color, but I don't remember what it was, and it was kind of too far away. Oh, and I had to go back in and make sure I took the staples out of the end before I started painting it. You see me wave, wave, wave. We lived in the country, and everybody knows everybody. And when people ride by, they're forever honking. And we're forever waving. And that's me just spray painting, getting paint all over my porch. Now, I've said this in another video. We are about to paint that whole entire porch. So, look, I was so proud of the way that turned out. That's being silly. I'm not real worried about how much paint I get on it now because we're about to repaint the whole thing. Now, these chippy brushes I got from Dollar General for $2, and there's 3 of them in there. This is at $2.50 paint. I've already shook it up. And see all of that paint on the lid? Look at that. I mean, it just went so fast. And it is the prettiest green. And I love, 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 love the way it turned out. Beautiful color. Now I see why everybody's fallen in love with this color. I hadn't really done any wood in this color until this ladder. And I was just tickled to death. Now, for those of you OCD people, yes, I am wearing the same shirt I wore yesterday because I got some paint on it. And I figured it's already ruined. So I threw that sucker back on to finish my paint job. And then that night, after I took a shower and got all settled in, I made me some little bows and I placed them on my ladders. And there's me using my little brad nailer again. It was perfect for this. And then, of course, I needed help from Handsome. You see that basket, that laundry basket at the top left? He was folding clothes, y'all. He's the best. He don't mind folding clothes. He don't mind helping me cook. And when I have surgeries or whatever and I'm down, he will get in there and cook supper. We're raising 2 grandsons, and they're actually teenagers now, so they help out a lot. But when they were younger, he would just jump right in and do everything. Never hesitated to change diapers. I mean, he's just, y'all, you know I could go on and on and on about that man. He's the best. But I added this little bow and these little pine cones that you can get from the Dollar Tree. There's a bunch of them that come in a pack for $1. I just went in and added a little pine cone to the middle of that. And there's my red one. I added that little star ornament to it. There's my red one. Look how cute, y'all. Isn't that adorable? And sturdy. Sturdy, sturdy. Look at that. I just love it. I told y'all I was proud. Now, this is me making my little bow for the brown. No, that was the green one. And you see that little truck ribbon? Isn't that cute? I found a little towel with that same truck on it that says Dashing Through the Snow to hang across the top of that little ladder, and it turned out so cute. And I also added that little joy ornament because it had the red and black buffalo check like is in that ribbon. Now that ribbon right there I made big, and I was like, that's too big for this ladder. So I tore it apart and cut it down half size and just made it a little bit smaller. But I love the way it turned out. And I just thought adding that little ribbon, that little bow to these ladders was the perfect touch. Now on my brown one, I did not make a bow, so you won't see me making a bow for the brown one. But what I did is I took some of that greenery that I had left over from the porch sign, and I wrapped it around one side of that ladder leg on the right side, and I hung a little pine cone ornament from it. And you'll see that in just a minute in the pictures. So the red one has a bow, the green one has a bow, and then the brown one only has like some greenery wrapped around the leg and the ornament. But they just turned out so cute, and I was so proud of them. And I still cannot believe how sturdy they are. You've probably heard me say sturdy 50 times in talking about those ladders, but I'm telling you, they're 3 foot tall and just adorable. So this is me with that little brad nailer. I started to put it in the middle, and I was like, no, I want to hang my towel from there. So I went ahead and hung it on the side. And then that, you saw the brown one with the little pine cone. And that's it. And that's all I've got for you this week. I hope you enjoyed them. There was a lot of work put into them. That's why there's only just the 4 things. And look at that, how cute. All of these towels came from the Dollar Tree, of course. There's my one with the little trucks. I love that green color. It is just so pretty. And that's my little Dashing Through the Snow. And then look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I tried to find a towel with some buffalo check, but I couldn't. And I seen that red, and it just turned out perfect. But thank you again for coming to Monter's Market. If you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe and click that little bell button. And you can also find me on Facebook and Instagram, as well as here at YouTube, all at Monter's Market. Thank you for coming. Love y'all. Y'all know I love you.